Welcome to the Manuchehri podcast. Over the last 30 years, it has been my joy to assist humanity in aligning with their magnificence so they may heal, discover their natural gifts, and communicate with loved ones living on the other side. May you also experience delight while we dance in the powerful, intuitive world of energy. Let's get going. Hello and welcome to Where Energy Meets the Divine. I'm your host, Manuchehri. Thank you for being here and thank you for liking and subscribing. And if you're new, I hope you truly enjoy this podcast. I'm going to go straight to the questions and talk about things kind of in between, if you will. Okay, here we go.
Hi, Marie. This is Amy from Northern California. And thank you so much for everything you're doing. I really love your show. I recently just had my aunt pass away on Christmas Day. And this is 4 days later. And the whole family is completely shocked. She was only 63.
Aww.
She appears to have died in her sleep. And you know, she and I were on this journey together of spirituality, and we would talk every week, and we had all these plans that we were making, and her son was living with her, and, you know, everything seemed to be going really well. And we're all just so stunned by this. And I was talking to the family and said, you know what? Denise, my aunt, used to listen to Marie Manuchehri, and I do too. And maybe we should call in and see if she could help us out.
Yeah.
So if possible, you could connect with her and maybe provide us with some answers. We would so appreciate it. I have lost so many family members over the years, and from the beginning, it was so difficult. I lost my sister when I was young and my dad also, and then a really beloved grandpa and grandma recently. And really through your podcast, I've really been able to see death in a new light and really see it as a beautiful thing, and to be able to celebrate that the person is on the other side having their new experience. So I really thank you for that. I thank you if you're able to give us some sort of information from her, and love you. Thank you. You're doing wonderful work. All my best to you.
Thank you, Amy. That's really kind. And I know I'm answering your question almost a year after you left it. So I hope you guys are in a better place about your aunt leaving. You know, there's just some people in our families that just bring light. They just naturally bring light, and they connect to the other family members who have light. And you just have this glowing fortress of energy in some relationships between certain people. Your aunt, lovely, lovely being, almost burst out laughing when we were listening to your question, because your sister who's on the other side said, it's my turn to be with our aunt. It's my turn, you know, and she didn't say it quite as seriously as I'm delivering it, but it made me want to laugh out loud. Like, it's my turn. You guys had her all that time. It's my turn. I know 63 is young. I firmly believe that we never know how long any creature, human or otherwise, is going to stay on Earth. We don't know. And I wish more humans, and I'm sure your family, because you've lost so much, has learned how to figure out how to deal with loss. Obviously, losing your dad, your sister, grandparents. If they live to a certain age, we tend to be comfortable with that type of passing, even if we're going to miss them terribly. We tend to be more comfortable. Your aunt died the way I think almost everyone wishes, that we die in our sleep. I think people pass away the way they live their life. So your aunt died calmly, comfortably, you know, sleeping. There's weird things that can happen in the body that are even hard to detect. Like, so when someone suddenly dies and they don't have a health issue, they weren't hit by a car, you know, nobody hurt them in any way. They didn't fall down a flight of stairs. They weren't hit, you know, no one shot them. Sometimes when they pass away, like the way your aunt did, they may do an autopsy, but sometimes the coroner still can't find the exact cause of death, because it just could have been some freak thing, you know, that happened in their heart, some vagal stimulation that their heart stopped. And because they're sleeping, They just kind of stayed in that frequency and that vibration and left their body. That's why kids, little kids, can pass away from sudden infant syndrome. I think I'm recalling that name correctly. That's why I think they need to be close to their parents. All of my children and all of my grandchildren pretty much napped in someone's arms when they were infants. Nobody put them down. They were being carried all the time. I know that's not always possible in every family. Like that's not going to happen. We've just been very lucky if, where grandparents and aunts and uncles have been available to help with kids. Because once a baby gets they don't feel that connection or hear that heartbeat because they're used to being in the womb, they do have a tendency where they could slip out. And there could be other factors, but I do think there's this, possibility or probability of leaving the body if there's not an interaction, with human contact frequently or a lot during infancy. So your sister's thrilled your aunt is there. Your aunt is very, very happy, but it was her time. So when someone reincarnates to Earth, they have a plan. It's like a game plan. And I know we're in football season right now. Well, actually, the Mariners, because I actually live in Washington, I've been to several Mariners games. None of the ones right now, because I think they're going to the playoffs. They're in the playoffs, but I think they're going to obviously I'm not a sports person, World Series. Yeah, they might be going to the World Series. So of course, everyone's talking about it here. One of my son-in-laws was looking into how much it costs to go to the World Series. I don't think it's in the budget for us. So your aunt feels like she won the lottery and she finished what she wanted to do. So like in sports, they have plans. We're going to do this play. We're going to do this play. We're going to have this many players in the game. This person's going to be on the bench. And then eighth inning, you guys are going out if nobody's injured. Like there's a plan. Well, humans, when they reincarnate to Earth, they have plans too. They have plans. I hope to learn this by this age. I hope that I understand it by that age. I hope I have this experience because I've grown consciously. And once I learn this, like there's something really big and wonderful we want to learn. A lot of times souls go, then I want to go home because we don't think of Earth as our home. Not in our full wisdom, not in our genius, not in our soul. The other side, other dimensions are our home. The heaven for earth and beyond is our home. And we know tons of beings, especially older soul types, which your aunt is. She's had many, many lifetimes and many, many realities. So she knows a lot of souls and she kind of wants to go hang out with all those people. Not that she wanted to leave you guys. This was something that was like pre-programmed. It was the game plan. You get to 63, you figured out something really cool. You can go home. Great. I want to go home. So she went home and now she's hanging out with your sister. Your dad says that the revolving door of family members coming to the other side makes his head spin. Yeah. And he's not saying it in a mean way. He's being funny, but also it's a lot. He's like, because your dad has had a lot of empathy growth on the other side. He could have been highly empathetic when he was in physical form. So he's feeling all the loved ones that are here still and the losses they're experiencing, and then the joy and celebration on the other side when one of the family members crosses over. So he says it makes his head spin. But he loves all of you and sends kisses to everyone. Your aunt's like, they're fine. They got me for 63 years. They're fine. Like, so she's fine. And I know she left children. And I'm sorry about that. I truly am. And you can continue this celebration and education of spirituality, regardless of where either one of you is in the universe. So ask her. It's like, hey, if you want to continue to work on the spirit world with me, dial me up, Auntie. Give me a call. Hang out with me because I would love it. And she would love it too. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Marie. My name is Chandra, and I'm from the Great Canadian Plains in Alberta, Canada,
Yeah.
that I fondly refer to as Timbuktu or Siberia.
But you love
I
it
have a
there.
couple of questions. So, I have a fiery temper, and my 7-year-old also has a fiery temper, and she has huge emotions just across the board.
Yeah.
Because she cares so much. She really cares. And I feel like I don't know how to support her in her emotions, and I definitely don't know how to deal with her temper. So I would love your guidance on how to manage my own temper and how to manage her temper in a way that really teaches us both and changes this pattern that is, I think, deeply embedded in my family, because it's on both sides of my family and really intense. So I'd love your help for that. Secondly is I'm a classically trained singer, and I kind of dropped everything when I got pregnant, and I ended up moving back to the family ranch, which has been such a beautiful
Yeah, I
experience. I'm
love it.
so grateful
Love it.
to be here, and it's
Yeah.
been a nurturing, beautiful, safe, and enriching environment for my daughter. I don't know how to bridge my musical pursuits with where we live, because we're so isolated and it's a really long drive to go anywhere. And performing makes me the happiest person in the world. My soul just explodes out of me in this
Oh,
amazing way.
oh.
And I love it so much. And I don't
Mm.
know what to do, how to navigate being on the ranch and also pursuing music. So I would love your guidance for that. And if you have time, if you could speak real quick about my sleep issues. I've been I've been suffering with insomnia, I think, for about close to 3 years. It started shortly after I weaned my daughter, and it's really challenging. And I had my hormones tested. It doesn't appear to be my hormones. So I just, I'm at a loss. I'm a very healthy person and I don't know what to do. Maybe it's coffee, maybe it's dairy. I don't know. I love you so much, Marie. I'm listening to all of your episodes, and you really are guiding me in a way that's making a huge difference in my life. And I think it's going to change the entire evolution of my family. So I love you
Oh.
so much. I teach everything I learn from you to my daughter. Thank you. Bye.
So, even though your hormones are good, was it a naturopath who looked at those hormones or a modern medicine physician? Because they're going to have completely different receptors. And it's the progesterone that helps people sleep. And that is the hormone that starts to deplete for most people right away. So, the naturopath that I see, well, two of them that I've seen, say that they usually start women younger, like even in their 30s, with progesterone, depending on their levels. So, because it calms down the brain, because you're just thinking you can't turn it off, and that's why you can't sleep. It would be great if you could practice turning it off, but progesterone helps us to relax our mind and smooth muscles in the body. And so that could be the reason why. Um, Nothing's wrong here. Obviously, you love where you are. So I wouldn't worry about that. Could just consider being a guest artist, put out some feelers. That could be a guest singer, or you could be someone who's on call for a band who, if their singer's out, I think that's the best way to do it for now. Um, yeah, that you're a guest person. I think fiery tempers are cool. I come from a family with a lot of fiery tempers. I think it's very cool. But you're right, your daughter is going to have to learn other coping mechanisms, especially before she goes to college, because it's different when you're around your whole family who understands, that temper tantrum kind of outburst energy. But then you go to college and you have to have roommates and you can't slam doors or whatever people do when they're angry, which is a good thing, right? It's a good thing. So teach her to go into a room and throw pillows around, So I think at some point when someone is using anger as their coping mechanism, and it doesn't mean that that's what they're really feeling. Typically, people who feel bursts of anger, they're just really sad. There's sadness underneath, and the anger is kind of the blanket that's covering it. But if you could teach her to go into a room, if she's disrupting the family, or you are disrupting the family, then you or she needs to go into a room, shut the door, throw pillows around, you know, lay on the bed and kick and scream like you're 2 or 3. Learn how to use that outburst in a safe way that doesn't upset everyone else in the family, but allows you to move through your own experiences. And then talking about your real emotions, because there's real emotions underneath that anger that aren't being expressed. And maybe she's not even sure what they are. So once she calms down, once you calm down, then you can start to personally ask yourself those questions. You could ask her those questions when she calms down. Hey, what are you really feeling? What else, how was your day? What made this start? Not in a way that she needs to feel bad about using anger, but that there's other emotions involved. And it'd be fun to kind of understand them, because that's going to reduce the outbursts if she learns to feel her own emotions and yourself as well, and can communicate them, whether that's in a journal or with another person, or set boundaries, or have conversations with someone where the conversation needs to occur. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hi, Marie. So I'm Anze, and I'm from Slovenia, and I hope you're doing amazing. So I have 2 questions I would love to get your insight on, if possible. So the first one, and the most important one, I guess, for now, is about my sister Tia. So Tia, she's 29, and she has sadly experienced 2 miscarriages in the last year, both occurring in the 2nd or 3rd month of pregnancy. And I was wondering and hoping if you have any insights or guidance that could help. And the second question, if you still have time, is about my career path. So since I was 16, I've read countless books, taken quizzes, and explored different courses, but I still feel unsure about what I truly love doing. And it's been frustrating, and it's been driving me crazy, because I know I'm capable of living a fulfilling, happy life, but I just haven't found that passion yet. So any guidance or what direction I should explore would really mean the world to me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Anze. I think I'm saying your name correctly. So in order to feel passion about a future career, you're going to need to start to feel passion with the present moment, because you're not going to be able to detect what initially is some subtleness about passion. So you're going to have to learn to feel passion in everyday life regularly for the rest of your life anyway. It's good for you. It's good for your energy. It's a high vibrational frequency. But again, in order to identify things that you could soar in career-wise, you're going to have to feel passion about regular everyday things. Like right now in the Northwest, the leaves are perfect. Charles did not want to stop walking, and he usually gets 2 walks, but we went on such a long walk today, and of course now it's very dark. We'll see. Once the Christmas lights are up in the neighborhood, I could walk them super late at night. We have a lot of coyotes around, so I don't always walk him late at night if there's not great lighting. But it was so beautiful. He didn't want to stop. I didn't want to stop. And of course, it's great temperature for dogs because of their fur, or his case, hair. And we just kept walking and walking and walking. It was so gorgeous. And I could just feel my passion towards all these beautiful colored leaves, orange and yellow and red, and somewhere on the ground, just making the ground stunningly beautiful. And the wind was the perfect temperature. It was amazing. So if you can find everyday things that you can authentically feel passionate about, then you're going to be able to go, oh, because you're going to be aware of that frequency and that vibration. And you tend to stay annoyed and disappointed, which is a low vibrational frequency. So you're not going to be able to sense passion. That's a very different frequency. So that's what you're going to have to do. One of the things. The other is you have to feel that you have a great career. You don't have to know what it is. You don't have to know how it happened, but you have to start to create that emotion inside of you that you already have it. That's really important for everyone when it comes to manifesting. You do need to feel the different realms of existence that already exist for us. Like everything we want actually already exists. If we can feel that in our lives, in our body right now, even if we have no idea what that thing is, or we've never had it before, that makes it come in. That's what opens up the pathways of your energy system to allow yourself to have these experiences. Oh, and your sister, I'm very sorry. I do think she is going to need some medication. So she needs to go see an OBGYN if she hasn't already. And I think she's going to need some sort of medication to help keep the baby in. Miscarriages are not uncommon. Usually 1 out of 5 pregnancies ends in a miscarriage. So it's not unusual, and it's not uncommon. But from the emotional perspective, and I mean no disrespect to your mother at all, but your sister's a little afraid of becoming like her mother, and she doesn't want a parent like her mother. So she needs to work on that, because that'll make it easier for a healthy egg. Because what if these ovums, these eggs, these developing fetuses weren't healthy? I mean, we don't want them to stay in the body. We want them to leave, right? So again, miscarriages aren't necessarily a bad thing. And if she can recognize that she's going to be her own special parent to her children, and maybe go see a doctor about some medication. I don't know what it would be, but it's simple. It's not complicated. It's very, very simple. I know that. Okay. I hope that's helpful. Great. Thank you.
Hi, Marie. This is Valerie from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I love your show. I love your program, and I love all the answers and the lessons and the exercises that you offer us. And I've been applying them. And the last 7 years of my life, I'm 45 if you need to know that.
Okay.
The last 7 years, I've been intentionally peeling back the layers of myself, just liberating myself to be happier and to be in more joy. And I know that all the relationships that I've been in the last 7 years post-divorce, where I ended it intentionally to be the fool on this fool's journey. And I know that everything happens for us for our own growth.
Right.
And I'm learning from you that these are all agreements, or I'm also starting to read Sacred Contract. And so I love all this information. Everything just makes sense and it clicks. And I just love it, love it, love it. And I'm getting into tarot reading for others, and I'm looking forward to that in 2025.
Exciting. Yeah, exciting.
Developing my second book, fiction. But so what I would like to know more about is the soul agreement or contract, as I'm kind of learning from that book. What we had agreed upon with this man that I encountered kind of late summer. We dated for like a month, and I knew it wasn't going to last. Just based vibrationally, and just that he's dealing with a lot of severe childhood trauma. And I understand how I attracted him, because my previous long-term partners have just been unavailable men, basically, because I learned from my first relationship with a human, my father, who's like supposed to set the foundation here, right, for my male relationships, he was unavailable based on his wounds. And so I understand that storyline for myself and what I'm learning from it. And so having to correct and love myself to attract better, more loving partners.
Right.
And so hopefully I'm doing an awesome job at loving myself better.
Right.
And that's why I'm loving tarot, and I just love writing fiction.
Cool.
But so this encounter I had with this man, and when we had sex, like when we were together, it was the first time I cried during sex. Like, I love feeling my emotions, all the highs and lows. Like, ooh, I love my emotions. But this was the first time I cried during sex. I just felt loved, and
it's nice.
It was so beautiful and magical. And then we had ended it, and then a few months later, we encountered each other last night, and then like instantly, he made me cry again during sex. And I'm just wondering, what do you get vibrationally from our contract with one another? I'm very interested in that. Thank you, Marie. Mwah!
Thank you, Valerie. I have a different perception about contracts. So I'm not a fan that even someone you're dating, that you have a contract with them. I don't believe that at all. I believe that you have desires within yourself to learn, to expulge certain behaviors and patterns to create new frequencies and vibration. Did you choose your family unit? Yeah, of course. And we don't just choose the exact parental unit, but we make a decision. I need this type of parental unit so I can learn these types of things. So your dad, of course, wouldn't be a good teacher for partnership or how to really respect and honor a woman. And what you wanted to learn is how to give this to yourself. That's probably the most powerful thing in the world. And that's what you're learning, is to love, honor, and cherish yourself. You may be stuck in a pattern where you continue to choose similar people. They may have slightly different stories, but you're choosing them. You don't have a contract with them. Yeah, that does not exist, in my opinion. because I believe souls are independent contractors. We're not required to have relationships with certain people. We're not required to stay and heal and work through things. We can heal anything with or without other people. It doesn't matter. We don't need people in our lives to heal things. It's nice and it's lovely when we've chosen really well friendships, and we create lasting relationships with family members that are truly family. So when you're with someone who is family for you, even a romantic partner, you feel loved, adored, and cherished, not chased, cherished. So, and safe. So one of the things that you're kind of stuck in, but you're definitely growing out of it, you're highly empathetic. And empathic people, unless they have really learned to love and cherish themselves, they can be attracted, especially if they have healer energy, to wounded people personally, and they should not be. Professionally, sure, they can love all the wounded people they want, because then they can help them. We all have wounds. So you're not allowed to date someone who has difficulties. You have to date people who do inner work, who are living their potential, because people who have healing type energy can see the potential of others. And so they may fall in love with someone's potential, but that person may not even reach that potential in this lifetime. So you have to be a lot more selfish in your picking. You have to go, well, would this be in my highest good? And I bet for a little while, the answer is going to be no. No. I mean, sex is an important part of any relationship, at least in my opinion. And to cry during sex is lovely. And you can have relationships with people where you have great intimacy, physical intimacy, but you want all of the relationship to be wonderful, not just the intimacy, right? You want everything to be wonderful. You want to feel safe. You want to be able to grow with that person. You want that person to be able to grow with you. So your job is to start to ask those hard questions. Would this be in my highest good, this type of person? And when someone has addictions, they don't seek therapy or help, they're not growing, those are not your people. No. You have to stop saving, personally speaking, the wounded. It's kind of like empathic people, if they go to a pet shelter to pick up a lost pet, unless they are really grounded in their energy and they're not coming from a place of, oh my gosh, this poor pet, they're going to pick a really difficult pet and they're not going to have fun with that pet, because they're picking out of, oh my gosh, this poor thing is so wounded, I've got to take it home. We want a younger soul to take that person home or that puppy home, who isn't not going to be so affected empathetically by what the other person is going through, right? Younger souls are learning compassion. Older souls are learning self-compassion. So if your future partners can help you with self-compassion, ding, 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 versus taking care of them, right? Okay, those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Hi, Marie. This is Jess from Wyoming. Thank you so much for taking my call. I have two little ones. One of them will be 3 in February, and the other will be 2 in June.
Cute.
They are very different, polar opposites, actually. And I was wondering if you could give me any advice as to how to handle them the best way. Basically, what I'm getting at is that I like my youngest, she is very headstrong. She is full of fire.
Love that fire. Love it.
And I don't want to break that in her. Like, sure. I want to be able to discipline her without breaking her spirit. And then my oldest, she is very eager to please. Mm-hmm. And I just want to do what's best for them, and I don't want to traumatize them. I'm terrified of traumatizing them. So if there's anything that I'm doing that's right on point, I would love to hear it. And if there's something I can do differently with each of them, I would love to hear that as well. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.
You're welcome, Jessica. So kids are different. All 3 of my kids are different. All of them. I mean, now we might be a little bit more similar because, they're all adults now and they've all are parents and they're all married. And so we have a lot of similarities in terms of our experiences, but all kids are different. And so it's perfectly normal to have a super fiery child and then a overly nurturing child. And I don't like the word discipline, and I'm sure you didn't really mean it that way, but I like coaching. You're just coaching your kids. You're coaching your kids to feel wonderful, loved, and safe while they're learning particular ways to be in the world, right? At the perfect moment. So yeah, we don't want to shame kids. And I think that's what you're talking about. You don't want them to feel bad. So when you have a fiery kid, you can say, okay, that was fiery. And is Sissy okay with this fieriness? I mean, I think your 2-year-old is actually fine. I think she kind of likes the drama. I don't think she's like really affected. I see her as like a lot of younger siblings. They're looking over at their other siblings going, I'm never doing that. They're wacky. Like they're doing this internal inventory. Not doing that. Nope. Gonna get in trouble for that. Yeah. Nope. 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 That's what I think younger siblings do. Like, So don't worry so much about your youngest. Try to stay out of your overly empathetic heart, because you could be misreading. You could be projecting your own insecurities on both of them. Try to stay in the lower half of your body and tell yourself often, what if I'm a wonderful mother? What if I'm a wonderful mother? Because I'm sure your kids are very blessed and lucky. They're loved, they're adored, they're cherished. And, maybe 3 is too young, but at some point, I think fiery people need to go into their own bedrooms and yell and scream. Like, so we're not stopping them from finding a way to cope, but we're not letting them do it in front of everybody else all the time and upset the entire family. Like, go do that and go scream in your room. Yeah. Go throw some pillows around. Yeah. Go slam your closet door quietly. Yeah. But I think your 2-year-old's like, she's wacky. That's what she's thinking about her 3-year-old sister. But they love each other very much. Yeah, I think you have a great family. You just have to tell yourself you're a wonderful mother and not worry, this fear about ruining them. I don't think you will. I know you won't. I know you won't. But let's get out of that energy so you don't attract discomfort. And no parent's going to be perfect. No kid's going to come out of childhood unscathed. We just do the very best we can. And at the end of the day, we all love each other. That's one of the things I love about my kids is we all tell each other. And sometimes we talk multiple times a day. I love you. And we really mean it. Like, I love you. I love you too. We always say it. It's really fun. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Tomorrow I'm going to be starting my class on the Shift Network. So you can go to my website or the Shift Network, shiftnetwork.com. Just put my name in the search engine and all my classes show up. But I teach all my classes live, and then they go into recordings, and you get the recordings, right, from the class. And this class is about how to translate medical intuitive knowledge. It's 7 weeks. It's going to be amazing. I hope that you can be there. All my love to all of you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.